It's just about that time of the week. Time for the Weekly Weebs Podcast. Grab your friends, family, waifus, and husbandos, and join your favorite weebs for an exciting show of anime talk. Hosts Crimson, Frenchie, Wigwiki, and Xerio Machini will review and suggest shows, talk about news from the industry, and tackle some of the biggest arguments in the world of anime. It's the Weekly Weebs Podcast, starting now.
Hello, everybody! It's time for another episode of your guys' favorite podcast, and that is, of course, the Weekly Weebs Podcast. I didn't even need to say it, because it's your favorite. And if it's not your favorite, that means it's your first episode listening to us. Weird place to start, but it's probably at the top of the list, so that's why. Because if you had listened before, then it would be your favorite podcast, obviously. My name is Xerio Machini. I know that you've missed my voice because I haven't been around for a while, and that's going to happen kind of often as I'm bouncing between work and school, but that's okay. It'll just make my presence that much more enjoyable. Like drugs. The longer you go without it, the greater it is. And that's me.
I'd put you in my house and take a deep inhale.
Hell yeah. I've got news for you this week, unlike the past 3 weeks, because I wasn't here, so there was no news from me. There's a new series coming out called Bye Bye Earth. The news specifically is about the cast being chosen, but I don't know Japanese voice actors, sorry. So I'm just going to talk about the show itself instead. It takes place on an alternate Earth where everybody has some type of animal aspect to them. So like there's people with like cat ears, bunny ears, or like goat horns and stuff like that. But the main character, Belle, is the only person in the world that's just like 100% human. There's nothing animal about her. So she's going on an adventure to try to find other like pure humans. And yeah. There's some images here of some of the characters. It's like a poster, but of course you listeners won't be able to see. Yeah, just a bunch of animal people. Nice little adventure story. And it's going to premiere in July. I don't know when specifically, but July.
Close enough.
Yep. And then to my left.
Hello, it is Frenchie. I know. You love me. But if not, fuck you. My news for you guys. It's a series I've talked about in the past called Psycho-Pass. The writers of the original season as well as season 3, Psycho-Pass 3, Makoto Fukami and Ryo Yoshigami, they are launching a new manga with actually one of the Psycho-Pass manga artists, Natsuo Sai. It's set to begin on March 26th. It is called Police Tribe Canine. From the look of it, it looks like it is going to be about a robotic dog and a police unit involved with it, which does have very similar vibes to what Psycho-Pass is about, which I've talked before is very similar to kind of the idea of It Invaded, where, you can, they find like the murderous intent after a crime and stuff like that to dive into the id well. Psycho-Pass, they use these things called Dominators, which are their weapons, they're guns.
Damn it, you took my line.
And they can actually sense criminal intent before the crime is committed. It's kind of like the one movie where the robot predicts crimes that was really popular. I can never fucking remember, but Futurama did an episode about it when Fry's in the police force.
Yeah.
So it's It Invaded but dog.
No, I'm talking specifically about
this anime. It's It Invaded but dog.
No, Psycho-Pass is It Invaded but gun.
Oh, got it.
I don't know anything about...
He hasn't gotten to the dog one yet.
Yeah. But Psycho-Pass is a really good series. I watched the first season, and I heard the second season really fell off, so I never watched season 2. But season 1 is super interesting, because it will actually, like, if someone has a criminal intent high enough, they will be permanently labeled a criminal. Not even if they commit anything. If they
criminal?
No. And like, if you even like the police detectives, they basically get turned into like assistants and are like a Harvard criminal. Not Harvard, but they're labeled as criminals without having ever committed any crime. And it's all about like the system around it and shit like that, of whether or not it's truly right. And the first season's really incredible. It's a story about revenge for one of the cops turned criminals who still works on the police force, but he can no longer be like the head of a unit or a detective, anything like that. He has to be partnered with one of the good guys. Their
guns like transform, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wonder if the dog will transform.
Maybe. Story is set in a near future science fiction. They're still writing the script, and Sai will be drawing the manga. There's not a lot of details about what the series is actually going to be about. The stuff is more about like their past projects and stuff like this. But a lot of people might recognize Sai's work because he was actually involved with the spin-off manga Naruto Konoha's Story.
He's also the guy from Ohana's Steakhouse.
Our out-of-town listeners will have no idea what the fuck that is. But Sai was involved with Naruto Konoha's Story, the Steam Ninja Scrolls, the manga. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of good from Psycho-Pass, and probably going to be one of my assignments next season after I do all my movies.
Nice.
To my left.
No one.
Chair.
A chair. Hello, everyone. It is me, Crimson. My news for you guys today is, for those of you who missed the Boy and the Heron movie when it came out in theaters, you will have another opportunity to go see it before it comes onto Max. It'll be coming to North America on March 22nd. That will be Friday. Get your tickets. Give it a watch. Or you can wait till it's on Max, whatever you want to do. Yeah.
I don't know how to watch. I use my phone to tell time.
It'll be dubbed and subbed.
I got
Power Rangers.
Also, if you haven't yet, go check out our YouTube. We've been uploading the last couple episodes there, so give it a watch.
Yeah.
Give it a like.
Yeah.
Give it a subscription.
Yeah.
And you know whenever we upload.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And we can't have two Zachs at the same time, apparently, anymore. So we're not here.
It makes the alignment of the world just go way out of whack.
Yeah. So, you know, by the standards of how we do news, this is old news, but it's world changing, so it'll never really be old news. But of course, as you guys have all heard, the beloved Akira Toriyama sadly passed away. So today, I just figured we would take time to talk about him and some of his works and the influences that he had on the world of anime and the world at large. Which, of course, Akira Toriyama, he's essentially like the father of shonen anime, if you think about it. Like, so many series have been, so many writers have been inspired by him. Anime might not even be popular in the West without Dragon Ball Z. He's just, you know, it's definitely a huge loss for the community at whole.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget of his impact, just not with Dragon Ball, of the anime, the cartoons it influenced, and the inspiration for other mangakas. Mm-hmm. Eiichiro Oda, Kishimoto, just to name a few, Tide Kubo, all the authors of the big three, the most famous manga/anime ever, all attributed their start to Dragon Ball coming out in the 80s and kind of inspiring them to start their own, that they wanted to become mangakas. I'm pretty sure Isayama also posted something, the guy that created Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I've actually got a list here of some mangaka and some of the words that they said in honor of Toriyama. So I'll go ahead and read through some of those real quick. Ichiro Oda, of course, the writer of One Piece, said, "I hope that the paradise is as pleasant as you imagined it in your manga, sensei." And Masashi Kishimoto, writer of Naruto, said, "I've just learned of my sensei's death, and I'm overcome by a feeling of emptiness even worse than when Dragon Ball ended." Very true. Toya Toro, who is Toriyama's apprentice and the one who did most of the work on the Dragon Ball Super anime, "I drew manga because I wanted to be praised by Toriyama sensei. That was it for me." That one's heavy. Yusuke Murata from One Punch Man says, "I can't seem to feel that he's really passed away. Maybe it's because, for me, he's always been like a star in the sky, even in life." Which is pretty beautiful. Hiro Mishima, the writer of Fairy Tail, "Without Toriyama sensei, I wouldn't have become a mangaka. I'm very sad." Tatsuya Endo from Spy Family, "Without Toriyama sensei, I probably wouldn't have set my sights on becoming a mangaka. Even now, I still think of myself as a child, looking forward to Dragon Ball every week." I know recently, I guess it's not really recent anymore, but, you know, I felt that way when Dragon Ball Super was coming back, and it made me feel like I was a little kid watching Toonami again, just being able to watch new episodes of Dragon Ball, and it was awesome. Yuki Tabata, Black Clover writer, says, "Dragon Ball was the start of my life in manga and will forever remain my number one manga." Yugo Kobayashi from Aoashi, which I don't know what that is, but it looks like it's a soccer anime.
Yeah.
"It was thanks to Dragon Ball that going to school became fun. Toriyama sensei, you're my hero, my Goku. I sincerely thank you for everything." And then Ryuhei Tamura, writer of Beelzebub, "I was just stunned to learn of the death of Professor Akira Toriyama. He's definitely like a star to me, and he is to many people involved in manga." And then Takehiko Inoue, writer of Slam Dunk, says, "I can't accept it. Thank you, Mr. Toriyama." So yeah, those are just some of the words from the other, big mangaka names. So it's of course affected all corners of the industry.
Yeah, I know Wiki talked about it last week of just losing that presence. Mm-hmm. I know that he kind of stepped away from writing because he talked about losing his classic pen that he'd been using forever.
The pen holder that he got when he was 10.
And it just didn't feel right after that. Like, even trying to replace it, there was just nothing that made him feel the same way about writing and drawing.
Which I couldn't imagine owning anything for 58 years.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's because I'm 30, so I haven't even been alive that long, but...
Yeah. I thought that counts.
But I haven't even owned anything for 20 years.
Yeah.
But the impact he's had goes without saying, And it extends to American cartoons as well, because if someone was going to make like an anime reference in cartoons for us growing up, it was Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
we mentioned before the recording started the pizza episode of Codename Kids Next Door, when number 4 is Goku and the delightful children from down the lane is Frieza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just going through this, there was a post that someone made where someone had quoted and said, Dragon Ball isn't that influential, and they responded, literally, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And just to name some of the shows, the Powerpuff Girls, Codename Kids Next Door, Billy and Mandy, Fairly Odd Parents, Amazing World of Gumball, Teen Titans Go. I don't necessarily count this as much because Robot Chicken references everything, but there is an episode of Robot Chicken where Goku shows up.
It's the Christmas episode. It's fucking hilarious.
Other anime like Assassin's Classroom.
I will say that is not an officially like canon look. I think that was like an artwork that somebody made.
Oh, that didn't happen in the show?
I've watched it 4 times. I don't remember that ever happening in the show.
But Chowder, fucking Futurama, Steven Universe. The Steven Universe one is my favorite because it's Garnet in the Yamcha pose.
Yes. I love that.
But I also just love Amy's hair in Futurama. It's just Goku. Like, it influenced, and it's not just, like, kids' cartoons. Like, Robot Chicken and Futurama are adult cartoons.
Yep.
It goes without saying the impact has carried forward in so many different ways across so many different forms of media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've never really watched, Dragon Ball or any of that, but I will respect the influence that it had on, Western civilization as well as just anime as a whole. Because, I mean, I think you said, or one of you guys said off air that, without Dragon Ball, there wouldn't be anything here in America for that stuff, or at least it would have been a lot later.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, definitely. He's that's kind of why I think of him as like the father of shonen anime, because we would have gotten some stuff over here still, because like we would have gotten like Gundam and like Speed Racer came over here.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah. So
I mean, it was a similar thing that we talked about last week with Akira.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago with Akira. That anime still probably finds its way, but it probably takes longer and it's not as impactful early on. One thing that I also thought about with Dragon Ball is think about the freaking voice actor careers in English that have launched.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Vale's first voice acting role is the announcer for the World Martial Arts Tournament.
That's awesome.
In Dragon Ball. And his second one is Future Trunks. Without that, we never get him as fucking Shigaraki. We never get him as...
Brooke.
Yeah, no. Sanji. Ian Sinclair's Brooke.
I always get those two mixed up, because, like, they do look very similar. Like, the actors, not the characters.
I was about to say Brooke and Sanji.
No. The actors.
Basically, the major way to differentiate them, Eric Vale's got long hair and short beard, and Ian Sinclair's got short hair, kind of a bushier beard.
That doesn't help me.
It should. Literally, Eric Vale has hair like down to his shoulders. I would get him more confused with Patrick Seitz. But, and honestly, One Piece is actually a really good idea to show the crossover from some of these fucking actors. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously Chris Sabat. You've got Sonny Strait, who's the voice of Krillin. His tribute to Akira Toriyama was really cool, talking about how, because of him, he got the role of a lifetime. It was either him or Eric Vale that said that it was like losing a best friend you never met.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that post.
That's a feeling I had about Chester Bennington when he died at Singer of Linkin Park.
Yeah. I mean, think about people we've interviewed. John Swayze had a lot of impact with Dodoria in early Dragon Ball Z in the Frieza saga. Mm-hmm. Stephanie O'Donnell is the original voice of Goku.
Yep.
she probably doesn't get a huge start to her career without Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And when she carried that through multiple series, through Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT, it's crazy to see the impact that his show has had on people's careers and helped launch. Like, Chris Sabat has been in everything, but arguably his most iconic role is Piccolo and Vegeta.
Yep.
Like, I would argue Zoro is definitely up there as well, but when you think of major anime, like, number 2 characters, Vegeta stands out among so many incredible ones.
He's the prince of all number 2s.
Mm-hmm. Prince of all shit.
Prince of all.
But, like, you know, Vegeta, I think he got the role of Vegeta. Well, obviously, he was in Dragon Ball well before that.
Yeah,
as Piccolo and Shenron and Yamcha.
Yeah.
That's a huge launch for his career as well. And he goes on to play guys like All Might, Yami, Zoro. So many incredible fucking roles that he has played. Partially because Dragon Ball was so huge early on for him.
Yeah, he went on to become the most credited voice actor in history.
Yeah. And probably easily the most iconic. Because, I mean, if you're a fan of dub anime, you've seen a show where he's played a major character.
Yep.
At least one.
Yeah.
And if you've watched the regular show, he plays half of all of the characters that pop up in that show.
He does?
He does.
Who's he playing the regular show?
Like, if there's like a background character that pops up, it's almost guaranteed to be Chris Sabat or what did I just forget? Luke Skywalker.
Mark Hamill?
Yeah, Mark Hamill.
Yeah. Roger Craig Smith as well. Roger Craig Smith pops up a lot in that show.
Yeah. But you know, I remember maybe like a year ago or something. Maybe it was longer than that. Whenever it was that in One Piece, Luffy uses the Red Rock, and it broke the internet for a bit, and there were a lot of people saying that the Red Rock is now the most iconic like move in anime, and I was like,
have you seen it, Kamehameha?
And I got into a lot of arguments online about this, and I'm like, look, you can like it as much as you want, no hate there. If you think it's cool, if you even think it's the coolest attack, go for it. But you do not know what iconic means. When I was a child, I always was hanging out with my friends, practicing like the Kamehameha. There was this kid that lived down the street from me that I would hang out with a lot growing up. His name was Gino. And we would practice the fusion dance.
So I haven't seen Chris Sabat pull up once for a new show.
That's why I was super confused.
I've seen like Roger Craig Smith, Greg Leese, and Mark Hamill show up a lot, but I haven't seen Chris Sabat show up once. I even went to search for his specific name on the page, and nothing.
I thought I heard him a lot as like background characters and stuff.
He's done a lot of background characters for a lot of shows.
Oh well.
I'm just going through like original Dragon Ball voice actors, and holy shit. Some of these, like, they may have not been from the original, but this would have been early on in a lot of their careers, whether it was like the original dub or re-recordings in the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. Chuck Huber as Emperor Pilaf is a pretty popular one. He's been that forever. Mm-hmm. Mike McFarlane voices Master Roshi. He's the voice of Buggy as well, and a bunch of other characters. Obviously, Chris Sabat. Kyle Hebert is the original Ox King. Mm-hmm. Laura Bailey was one of the voices of young Chi-Chi.
Did they change her voice actor or something?
There was just a couple ones. I mean, like, she got older as well, because she was a teenager at the end of Dragon Ball. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure they did re-recordings when Funimation got like full rights on everything.
Yeah, probably.
Jerry Jewell was one of the voices of Nam, or Nam.
Man, Jerry Jewell was. I remember that guy. Yeah, Jerry Jewell was voice acting back then. I don't think I paid attention to him until maybe more recent anime.
What was the other one? There was Kyle Hebert was also General White in the Red Ribbon Army.
He was also Ox King.
That was the first thing you said.
I was zoning out. I was trying to look up stuff, so I zoned out.
I gotcha.
Sonny Strait was General Blue and Krillin. Justin Cook was Captain Dark.
And Dragon Ball was the only time where Krillin was stronger than Goku.
Mike McFarlane was Android 8.
Yeah. This is another one I already mentioned.
Oh, I didn't even hear you say that one. Did you already mention Linda Young?
Well, she played... her most iconic roles are in Dragon Ball, so that's why I didn't bring it up. The only other one that she's really known for is Genkai.
Gotcha.
But, like, she's the original voice of Frieza in Dragon Ball Z as well. Another one, Kent Williams, the voice of, I believe, Father in FMAB. This little fuckhead.
I don't remember that guy.
It's the spin-off episodes, I'm pretty sure, that also had...
Oh, Raleigh? Yeah, okay.
And Raleigh is Linda Young.
That must have been one of the
Williams.
crossovers with his other works.
Kent Williams is also Senku's dad in Dr. Stone. I'm looking to confirm if he was Father. You might be right on that, though. I know he's Mr. Compress in MHA.
Yeah. Another big one, John Bergmeyer, the voice of Tien, who's gone on to be in Yu Hakusho, in Fruits Basket, and he's had a huge career as a vocal director, too. He was both a vocal director and an actor.
Is your laptop dying right now?
No, it's just aggressively loud for no reason.
I always forget that Chris Sabat is also Mr. Popo.
Oh, I don't know if I knew that.
Kent Williams is father.
Cat Williams.
Kent Williams.
But, like, there's so many major popular voice actors that were either involved from the beginning with Dragon Ball or got involved later on. And it's really early in a lot of their careers.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this. I'm not sure if you went through this, Crimson, because you're newish to anime. But, of course, we grew up in the era where, like, it was acceptable to bully kids who liked anime. But when I was in, like, middle school and high school, there was a realization that I came up with that was world peace is achievable by just talking about Dragon Ball Z. And I say that because, like, that was really the only time that anime kids weren't bullied, at least in the school setting that I was in, where because it didn't matter if you were like a jock, like an artsy kid, a goth, whatever. When Dragon Ball Z got brought up, you had something to say. You could have a conversation, and that was awesome.
Something similar with that too. I've seen a lot of posts on TikTok and Instagram, just social media across the board, about how it's had different impacts for different ethnicity communities. Like, obviously, we can attribute that it's made anime popular very much in the white community. It was huge in Japan. And I saw even posts from friends about the African American community, the Hispanic community, that was like the show growing up for a lot of kids, no matter your background.
Yep.
That no matter what community, if you were inner city, suburban, even I've seen some posts from like kids that grew up on reservations for Native Americans and stuff like that, that was a huge cartoon / anime for them as kids. It's so influential. in so many ways. We've already talked about how it's impacted anime, how it's impacted cartoons, impacted people of different friendship groups, and now different ethnicity backgrounds.
And sports. Like, there's been a lot of, like, references to those things in, like, football, soccer, wrestling, things like that.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of instances where someone scores a touchdown and one of their teammates comes over and they do the fusion dance.
Yep.
Or someone does the Kamehameha and throws the football. And it's always fun to see, because that stuff doesn't happen without Akira Toriyama.
No. Bless you.
Thank you.
And I think it's also part of the fact is that Dragon Ball is not a super deep show, and it's kind of more about the fighting than anything else, but also still has some incredible moments. Like the fucking Spirit Bomb with the entire world coming together to beat... I think the Buu Saga is so fucking underrated because of shit like that. Like Mr. Hercule, or with Mr. Satan getting everyone to give their energy to defeat Buu, the fucking Final Flash, and shit like that. Yep. The redemption for, the fucking Demon King, whose name I cannot remember.
Dabura?
Yeah, the guy that spits and turns people to stone.
I think it's
His little redemption in hell alongside, like, Chi-Chi and Bulma and Videl.
Yeah, or he all of a sudden becomes, like, a super lovey guy.
Yeah. The character development is, I think, an underrated thing about Dragon Ball as well. Vegeta goes through one of the craziest character arcs ever. And, like, it's just steady increases. There's not, like, any major events that really showcase until you get to the end where he literally sacrifices himself trying to save planet Earth. But, like, the whole, like, not becoming friends, but starting to respect, like, Gohan and, you know, being able to interact with these people without, you know, fucking killing them. Mm-hmm. And then you see him as becomes a husband and a father. He's not a good husband or father at first, but he grows to love Trunks, grows to love Bulma. And then when you get to the Buu Saga, and then later in Dragon Ball Super, and stuff like that, the dude goes fucking Super Saiyan and punches the God of Destruction in the face for slapping Bulma.
Yeah, like, Cell Saga Vegeta never would have done that.
Yeah.
In Dragon Ball Super, Vegeta also finally adheres to his promise to Trunks to take him to the amusement park after he punched him in the face.
You said you wouldn't hit back. Also, like when Future Trunks gets shot through the body by Cell, you see Vegeta just lose his fucking mind.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not even technically his son. His son is a baby.
Yep.
And Future Trunks is honestly almost more of a challenger and a rival for him, who has outpaced him in power. But when he sees that, he's like, that's my son. And I fucking love Vegeta for that.
There's a moment at the end of the Janemba movie, Fusion Reborn or something, I think it's called. But after they defeat Janemba, you know, since Vegeta is in hell, he technically didn't have a body, and the only reason he had a body in that movie was because Janemba was throwing off the balance of the afterlife, and after they like unfuse and Vegeta's kind of fading from existence, there's just this really nice moment where he's thanking Goku and saying that like it was like his pleasure to be able to fight like alongside him, and that he wouldn't have had it any other way. And then he just becomes like a ghost and drifts away. And, you know, shit like that's beautiful to me.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I mean, again, I don't have much to say on the show because I haven't seen it. but I respect what it's done, and I respect how it's changed and impacted the world.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's really the most of what I can say on it. I mean, it's... Yeah.
Also, I don't think anime abridged series become as popular. Like, obviously, like, Little Karibo got that shit started with Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. Mm-hmm. But Dragon Ball Z Abridged is the most well-known one.
Easily.
Like, even Chris Sabat fucking loves Abridged. He's actually done, like, interviews and met with members of Team 4-Star. Now, on the flip side of that, Sean Schemmel kind of hates it. Like, Sean Schemmel, like, in an interview, literally talked about how it shouldn't exist. That, you know, he's most well-known for playing Goku. Yeah. So, like, when someone else is doing the work, he doesn't really like it because it says it reflects back on him and how he is that character.
Oh, poo.
Yeah.
He's not even the only...
But he also talked about...
that for Goku.
Yeah, but also, like, how, you know, his relationship with Toei Animation and how they've told... Team 4-Star to stop. It's like, yeah, but they also have free creative licensing because it's a parody.
Yep.
And he just goes off of like, oh, well, I don't care, you know, I don't even care about, you know, if you are able to, it's you shouldn't. It's like, parody's been a thing for literally thousands of years.
Hey, he could suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah.
You don't see Ocean Dove throwing a fit about it.
Yeah. But like, someone was like in the audience doing like a Q&A with Chris Sabat, and I'm pretty sure it was the abridged voice of Vegeta, or no, the abridged voice of Nappa that started quoting at him, and he just started dying. And he's like, am I going to see you guys later at the Team 4-Star panel? He's like, of course you are. That's one reason I love Chris Sabat.
Because he don't give a shit.
He's literally said the guy that plays abridged Vegeta could take over the role of Vegeta for him.
Yep.
And I'm just thinking of abridged quotes.
Have you guys ever seen any like clips of the Ocean dub of DBZ?
A long time ago, but I just remember it being bad.
I actually really like Goku's voice in that dub, which whenever you see posts about Goku and Rolf being the same guy. That's the actor that you're talking about. But his dub actually is like really good. Vegeta's Ocean dub voice is god awful.
I haven't seen it.
You know what's funny?
Huh.
I've met Vegeta's voice actor from that series. He's also the voice of Ryuk. Brian Drummond.
Really?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Light is adult Gohan.
That could be fine.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that. But...
I'll take this book and read it! I love Brad Swaley. I got to meet him I got to meet him and Brian Drummond. They're both super cool guys. Met them at Planet Anime last year.
Nice.
And I was asking him about the Chip quote, and he's like, it's one of the funniest things I think I've ever done.
I don't doubt that at all. It was amazing.
I don't doubt it either.
I still need to meet Shannon Chan Kent, because she's the voice of Misa, and she had to cancel there, but I need to get her autograph on Janelle's print, because then I'll have L, Light, Ryuk, and Misa.
You'll have the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. Well, it's the 4 of them that are on the print.
Yeah.
That's the main reason I want to get Misa.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm sure she'll be at another con that we go to eventually.
I hope so.
Quit forever.
It was kind of fun because the 4 of them were going to a lot of cons together. And she ended up having to cancel a couple because she got sick.
That's rough.
That's rough, buddy.
It is rough, buddy.
One of my favorite things growing up was playing the Dragon Ball Z Budokai games.
Oh yeah, I played those too.
Uh,
Well, I played the second one.
Not enough anime these days do beam clashes.
Oh yeah.
And that was always awesome in the video games because it's like in order to win you had to spin the sticks.
Yep.
And and I would kick all of my friends' asses with that because I would just put my hand across both analog sticks.
Yeah. I did that same thing.
And they're over there trying to like two thumb it.
My
I'm
buddy
like, what
had-
the fuck?
My buddy owned that game like years ago on the PS2, and I would always go over and play it with him, and I would always win. He always gets so mad. And he's like, "Why are you winning?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And he's like, "You don't even own the game."
Get good, scrub.
Not my fault.
So
I'm
clearly
good
you
at
just
games.
suck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Brett Swaley voiced Light and Gohan. I don't know if he was like the Ocean dub specific or voiced him for a time in the Funimation anime for sure. But he did voice Gohan at one point.
It's probably the Ocean dub.
I also need Planet Anime to get on announcing their list for this year because, like, I need to know if I'm interested in going.
Didn't regular Planet, like just end last weekend, or is it still going on?
No, it was last weekend, but like they had.
Oh no, Raleigh is happening right now. Planet M at Raleigh, or Planet Comic. Oh my god, Planet in Raleigh is happening right now.
But
That's awesome.
like last year, as soon as Planet Comic Con ended, they dropped the announcement for Terra Platt and Yuri Lowenthal.
Oh yeah, maybe they're waiting because they might have bigger names.
It's tough to get a bigger name than Yuri Lowenthal. And last year was fucking crazy. They had Yuri Lowenthal, Chris Sabat, and Meili Flanagan. Meili Flanagan's the fucking voice of Naruto.
Yeah. Chris Sabat's been to a lot of the Planet stuff, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been to Planet Comic Con and Planet Anime in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, he is Spike Spiegel, so it makes sense. Because a lot of planets.
What? Steve
What?
Bloom is.
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
But I mean, he's Vegeta, so.
And I've also been to a lot of planets.
Yeah.
Blew a lot of them up.
Enslaved a lot of people from him.
Their freaking Naruto cast last year was crazy. They had Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi, Sakura, Asuma, Madara, Shikamaru, Obito. I think they had a couple others as well, but those were like the main ones I remember because I got to meet Meili Flanagan because I literally was in line for, it was either Brad Swaley or Alejandro Giuliani, so either Light or L, that there was someone in front of me and her booth was, I think it was for Alejandro. Her booth was right next, and as I was waiting, I just leaned over because she just finished with someone, and the other person was still talking to the person that was getting the money, and I'm just like, I love you so much, but I can't wait in line right now. And she just looked at me and smiled and said, hi. So I've officially met the voice actors for all three of the main. Hey, I had a direct interaction with her. I did the kind of same thing. Alex Lee was out walking around, and I said hi to him.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, Planet Anime is fucking lit. They had so much. I would love if they did like a fucking One Piece thing like that.
Oh yeah, I know if that were the case, Erica. If they had the whole like One Piece, like those Straw Hats, I know Erica would want to go, and we'd probably do the same thing you're doing, like with the print and getting them all signed. I think I like that idea a lot.
Hey, you've already met Luffy and Zoro.
Yeah. Except I wasn't in One Piece at the time.
Yeah,
For either of those meets.
I'm just saying.
If
I'm
we have to
just
do it again.
saying.
True. You're just Super Saiyan?
Yeah. I miss Akira already.
Me too.
Any last minute things we want to bring up about him before we...
I wonder if on a little more of a selfish note about it. I wonder if he wrote down his manga plans or anything for Toyotoro to maybe pick up and finish.
I don't know, because he'd already stepped away, really, and...
Not for the manga, though. He was doing the manga. Toyotoro was doing the anime.
Well, are we even going to get more Super anyway? I would assume that he's... Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is he stepped away from drawing and writing.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
So, I'm assuming there was at least some communication.
Maybe.
Who knows?
And if not, give us the Moro Saga just out of respect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I want to see Goku fight the Galaxy Eater, and I want to fucking see Ultra Ego.
Yep.
Ultra Ego.
Yep.
Yes. The man also created the most iconic fucking transformations ever.
He's also probably the one who popularized anime transformations.
Most likely.
Yeah, because there's only a couple from the really old anime that I can really think of, like Yusuke becoming a demon, and that wasn't necessarily a huge transformation. That was literally just he died and came back.
Yeah,
as that. But I don't think we see fucking the different gears in One Piece without Super Saiyan.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I don't know if we'd see all the Ninetales stuff from Naruto without it.
Or all the different bullshit that Ichigo pulls out in Bleach.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, that might be more of a Yu Yu Hakusho influence. But a lot of that show is inspired by Dragon Ball Z, though. But I don't know. Sad time.
Yeah. Now I kind of want to watch Daima when it comes out, just out of respect.
I was gonna watch it anyway. I just wasn't excited about it.
Is that the chibi looking one?
Yes.
They all get turned into kids, and I think I read that they can't use their powers, so it'll be more focused on their actual martial arts, which that part sounds cool.
The chibi version does not sound good, though.
Yeah.
Kind of take it back to the old school where it was about martial arts and not about, leveling up 30,000 times.
Yeah.
It's under 9,000!
Which,
Boo. Not Majin.
well, Boo is way over 9,000. Yeah. He's in the billions.
Jesus.
I don't want to know what his power level is.
There's not enough scouters to track that one. Yeah, Akira Toriyama,
You will be missed.
you will be greatly missed. Many generations will miss out not having you around, but your legacy will surely live on forever.
Oh, yeah.
And if not even just because of the mangakas that lived in the same time as you, for the ones in the future who will still end up watching Dragon Ball and still end up being inspired by it.
Yeah.
Or even for any of them that watched or read any of the things that were inspired by Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
He created a whole culture. The world was never the same when he got into the game, and the world will never be the same without him.
Amen.
Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
The GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Any last words from you guys?
And then, rest in peace, and thank you for bringing anime to the West.
Hell yeah.
Indeed.
Indubitably.
Alright, and that's it for this somber episode of the Weekly Weebs.
Anime assignment?
The anime assignment this week is a series called Dances with Dragons.
Ooh, I've heard about this one.
Never heard of it.
It's on Crunchyroll. It's 12 episodes long.
So
It's
Dances with Dragons or Dances with the Dragons?
Dances with the Dragons.
Okay. I'm like, I see two things.
Yeah.
12 episodes?
Yeah, it's this one's got like a dude with red hair and
The one that has a literal dragon, I have the same one pulled up. I was going to say the one that has a dragon background. I'm like, technically it doesn't. That's an old man.
I'd say I don't see a dragon there.
The show lies.
Yeah.
There's no fucking dragons.
It's like Game of Thrones. You just got to keep waiting.
Damn.
They're coming. I promise, they're coming.
South Park.
Yeah. The pizzas are on their way.
Fucking love South Park.
Alright, love you guys. We'll see you next week. Maybe you'll hear from me again. Who knows?
Bye, haters.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Weekly Weebs podcast.
We'll be back next week with more exciting anime talk.
Make sure to join us every show to stay up to date with what's going on in the world of anime. We'll catch you next time.